I was hurting and broken, and I was running around with the wrong crowd. But all of this was because I was hiding behind this mask. And this mask, I didn't know, because I learned it from my parents, that, you know, it's not okay to not be okay. And drugs and alcohol began to consume me. My mom gave me this letter, and I've never ever read this before, ever, in any of the thousands of venues. You see, throughout the journey, there was a hurting young man that was struggling, that was hiding. I always describe it that if you looked at me on the surface, it would look the most picture-perfect picture ever. If I could give you a description of my life, it would be me sitting on the beach in the sand somewhere that was so white, and the ocean waters were so blue, and it was a beautiful beach, and the sunset was majestic of yellows and oranges. The picture on the surface looked like I had it all together. It was beautiful. But below the ocean waters, there was darkness, and there was depths, and there was predators and preys, and I didn't know how to swim, and I was screaming, but I was silent. And I've talked to my mom in the last 10 years since I've overcame a lot of stuff and adversity, and my mom never quite grasped. She said, "Nathan, were you really struggling that bad?" I felt like I was a good mother, and my mom today, we have a great relationship, and I appreciate her so much. But she contacted me a couple years ago and said, "Hey, come over here, I want to give this," and she started apologizing to me, because in this process, in the struggle of high school, from being a kid that had it all together to being a young man that's kicked out of school, that goes to the Army and that gets kicked out of the Army. As I share more of the story, I was involved in a terrible accident at 23, and this young man that was just struggling and trying to figure out, my mom said, "You really were struggling, weren't you?" She handed me this letter last year, and I wrote this when I was 17. And it says, "Mom, please don't be mad at me. I'm struggling with something right now, but I don't know what it is. But all I know is that I'm struggling with something deep for some reason, and it seems like all I ever do anymore is get in trouble. And I don't want to get in trouble with you and fight anymore. I just want my mom. I need you, Mom, and I want you and me to be like you and my sister. You guys talk and have a great relationship, and I really don't even have that close a relationship with anyone, but you're the closest to me. But that's not even that close. And Mom, I want you and me to be like two peas in a pod. I want us to have the absolute best relationship possible." A big part, although that I know it's my fault, but I don't like it. And I want it to all change. I want you and me to be mom and son. I want you and me to be just two peas together where we get along. And I called Brock, my friend, and asked if he could come and I could stay with him tonight, and if we could just sit around the house, and if we could talk, and if he would listen to me. For some reason, I'm fighting some serious inner demons, and I need to get my priorities straight. I need to think of what I want to do with my life. And I'm so sorry that I'm disobeying you, because you told me that I was grounded by not staying at home. But I really just need a friend to talk to for right now. And I understand whatever punishment you may decide to give me for disobeying, that I will accept it without hesitation. I will call you later. Sincerely, with more love than you can believe, your son, Nate. P.S. Will you please think about even coming to church with me tomorrow, and I'll go wherever you want. You see, a lot of times we don't even realize sometimes the cries of our kids are making. And my mom, she saw this letter. She said, "Nathan, I'm so sorry. I didn't even understand how much you really were crying out for help."